Hey, Chris Mystery cleaning Windsor the Fylde Coast. So, it's interesting at the minute. I wanted to put up a video up today. It's a bit of a reflection, really. So, when I very first started my business, right, 5 years ago, okay, it was simply a bucket and a squeegee, okay, and it was only ever meant to be a little bit of extra money to keep my daughters fed and clothes on their back. Genuinely, there was no plan to be, there's no plan to be a business owner. There was no plan to ultimately have people working for me. There wasn't even a plan initially to have a van. I've just gone with it and kept my eyes open to opportunities as they arise, and I've evaluated. I've not really sort of had that master plan of being right. Well, I want to be the next sort of Alan Sugar or anything like that, and I'm a million miles away from that. But it's interesting because now I was having a talk with Cheryl, who runs the franchise mastermind course that I'm doing. And it's interesting because you hear Cheryl talk about her business. And she started out as effectively a community nurse and then did a few bits and pieces with care and stuff like that. And then she, started a care franchise. And it's ultimately changed her life. Because it's now, for her, it's now, a big business. And she sold her franchise for 6 figures. And is now a very, very successful businesswoman. And that's to be admired. But to put my spin on it from starting a window cleaning business with a bucket, it's been a steep learning curve, I'm not going to lie. And it's not been easy. It's the last thing I'm going to say. It's not easy at all. And there have been challenges, and there have been days where I've not wanted to get out of bed. And there's been days where, have been really, really good, really, really rewarding. I've fell out with people over my business. People have challenged me. People have, thought very, negative things about me wanting more from life, etc. And that's okay. I can live with that, and I can deal with that. But I genuinely, I'm not sort of putting this video up for sort of, I'm not putting this video up, if you like, for attention. I just feel that in this sort of space, in this sort of channel of like-minded individuals, I think that I just want to put it out there and just sort of, and just express just how grateful I am, truly grateful, to those that have backed me, to those that have stood by me, whether you are, a subscriber, whether you are a supplier, whether you are a mentor, whether you're a friend. You have ultimately helped shape this reality of mine, which is crazy, to be honest with you. If you'd have said to me, Chris, 5 years from now, you will be on the verge of selling your first franchise. You will be talking about selling franchises, bringing people into your business. 5 years ago, and genuinely, it was me in a bucket. It was a joke. I won't say I felt ashamed. At the end of the day, I never felt ashamed by it. But I was always conscious that, you know, it's a steep hill to climb, and, you know, and for me, it was just about making an extra crust, if you like, to get by. And it's blown my mind, the support that I've had, you know, the goodwill, if you like, of people that have come out and said, "Oh, you've done really, really well, Chris," and all this sort of stuff. It truly humbles me, to be honest with you. And I've had many a phone call with a handful of my subscribers, Paul, who lives near me. Yeah, we've spoke on Messenger and stuff like that, and, you know, a couple of other people, you know, and, you know, young Tom, who lives near me as well. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And, you know, when I had someone, I'm not going to name names, I'm not, but I had someone the other day call me an inspiration, and I'm humbled by that. I'm grateful that they think so highly of me. But truly, I am nothing special. I'm not. There's no. I've taken chances that have come my way. I've been frugal. You know, I've lived well within my means. I don't have these posh holidays and all this sort of stuff. I don't waste money and all this sort of stuff. But I'm by no means, you know, Ebenezer Scrooge. I'm not the sort of person that will just sort of, you know, find a penny on the floor and go, "It's mine, my precious." You know, it's not. I'm not. I'm not like that. But I've been frugal. I've been very cautious with money because of obviously what's happened in the past, where, you know, we lost our home and all this sort of stuff, and it was a scary time. And then if someone turned around to me and said, like I say now, 5 years from now, Chris, you know, you'll have people working for you, you'll have multiple, you know, a multiple vehicle operation, you know, you'll be selling franchises and all this sort of stuff, and you'll be working effectively 2 days a week on the tools. You'll have the option, potentially, to retire by the time you're 45. It's mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling. Because those are the things, you know, I have the option now. Like I said, I work 2 days a week on the tools. Pre-COVID, I was working 2 days a week on the tools, if I'm honest. COVID has kind of thrown a hand grenade into the plans a little bit, but not by much. I used to work 2 days a week on the tools as a means of keeping me occupied, keeping me grounded, you know, remembering the graft, if you like. That sounds really contrived. I can appreciate that from some people. They're not going to like that, but it is what it is. And I'm just absolutely blown away by the fact that, you know, my life has turned out the way it has now. And this is what makes me laugh, is that at the minute I'm no multi-millionaire. I'm probably not going to be, if I'm honest. I don't know. But, you know, the fact that I can make a living and have the option to not go out on the tools, not go to work, I have that as an option. That's a choice now. That's not... Most people, you know, get up in the morning and have to go to work. They have to, you know, earn money. They have to, you know, punch a clock. You know, they have to, you know, effectively have their will bent by their boss. And for me, the biggest reward out of my business isn't the fact that I stand the chance to be able to retire early and all this sort of stuff. The biggest reward for me was to know that I can provide for my children, and to know that I live well within my means, and I don't worry about where my next penny's coming from. I don't worry about paying bills. I don't worry about, you know, I don't worry about the things that used to keep me up at night. That's the truth. I can't put into words, you know, the fear. You know, the fear of losing everything, which was a very real thing, I can tell you. You know, when you have your young daughter and a pregnant wife, and you are genuinely you don't know where the next bill is going to get paid from. You don't know if you can feed all of you this week. You know, and there were days, there were days where we would go down to Cleveley's prom when we first came up here, and we were absolutely brassic, we were broke. And we'd come up here, and for a day out, we would literally walk out the house, we'd walk up North Drive, onto the promenade at Cleveley's, we'd go to the Pound Bakery, we'd get 2 pasties, yeah, and, you know, we would share 2 pasties between 4 of us, you know, and stuff like that, you know, after Amy was born and stuff like that, we used to literally split 2 pasties between us, and then, you know, go home. That was a day out, you know, and like, you know, now we are at the point now where obviously we don't know what the crack is with COVID, but we had a holiday booked to Spain, where my daughters, who do dancing, are meant to be performing in Spain, and they performed at Euro Disney 2 years ago. And, you know, the outfits are not cheap for these dancing things. The lessons aren't cheap. But the reality is that I can afford that now. I can afford, and this is not me bragging. This is just me explaining where I've come from and just how baffling I find it. You know, we paid 130 quid, I think, if memory serves. We paid 130 quid for 2 outfits. For 2 dancing outfits for my daughters. We spend plus £100 a month for my 2 daughters to learn to dance. And we spent a couple of grand on this holiday to Spain. Whether or not it will go ahead because of COVID, we don't know, is the honest truth. But if it does go ahead, then we'll go. But if you'd have turned around to me and said, "Oh, Chris, by the way, you know, later on, it's shit now, but it will change," I'd have laughed clean at you. I'd have been closer to punching you than to going, "Aye, all right, mate." I would be like, "You're taking the piss out of me now. You know, you're mocking me." It's crackers. So what's the point of this video? Anything's possible. You can make sacrifices. Like I said, I've made sacrifices, and I've grafted my balls off. But it's paying dividends now. And if you're that guy that's starting out, and you're that guy that's struggling, and you're that guy that's flapping like a dick in a shirt sleeve over paying bills, over feeding children, I get it. Because that was me. You know, for a long time that was me. But yeah, keep the faith. Sounds contrived, corny, whatever you want. Keep the faith and just keep plugging away and never give up. Just don't lie down and take it. Just, you know, make the changes you need to make. You know, reach out, talk to people, talk to me. You know, you want to ask me a question, ask me a question. You don't want to put a comment in the comment section? Direct message me, email me. I'll leave a link. You know? But yeah. Anyway. It's enough waffle from me today. But yeah. Reflection doesn't do anyone any harm. Self-reflection, self-awareness, and not giving up. That's all there is to it. It's not easy, but it's simple. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, peeps. And, or the rest of your week even. And like I said, don't ever give up.